What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock, what you should be looking out for the future. I'm also going to break down what the news, data, and technicals are telling us about the overall market and also for NIO, and why it's very likely that NIO is going to try to get a bounce for tomorrow. I'm also going to break down why the market could actually help produce that, and also what the news is telling us going forward. But before I break anything down about NIO, before I talk about why there could be a bounce tomorrow, I do have to mention a couple of things before starting. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner. Make sure you take none of this as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire NEO community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed up to 12 free stocks, each worth up to $3,000. And the best part is, any could be a free NEO share. The offer ends today in just a couple of hours, in about 9 hours from the time I'm recording this. So check it out before they run out. The offer is almost over with 9 hours left. But anyways, let's talk about NEO now. NEO was down 4.7% for the day overall. We got a big sell-off in the very beginning. Then we got a small bounce after that. We excuse me, sorry guys. We basically sold off, but a nice bounce off the 7.6 area. We basically traded sideways from there, and overall NEO closed down about 4.7%, just under 5%. And overall, more of a sell-off for NEO ended up coming. But the real question is, could NEO get a nice bounce? Are we about to see a big reversal? Well, so far, SPY is actually closer to about, it's almost at 408 in the after hours. It's actually pumping as of right now. The QQQ is pumping hard as of right now as well. We're up over $2 back above. This is like 312.5 right now, up at 0.8%. Why is this happening? Well, look at Microsoft. This thing is up $12. It's approaching $300. That's insane. And if anything, it's up almost 5% in the after hours. If we look at Amazon, it's also up a little bit, up 2%. And then Google, also known as Alphabet, it's up to almost, what is this, like 108? It's getting closer to 110, very important level. Wow, that's impressive. What's going on? Why did the market sell off? That's the first question. First, you have to look at consumer sentiment, which is not very good. The data that came out was not too good. Secondly, the earnings that came out in the morning were just pretty not, they didn't affect us as much. But yesterday, the First Republic Bank announced the fact that they lost over $100 billion in deposits. Very, very bad for the stock market. I mentioned that yesterday. Do you guys remember I said that yesterday we could see a sell-off? But I didn't expect it to be this crazy. I thought we would actually base much earlier and then try to, hold up and just trade sideways approaching the big earnings. But right now, it's very likely that we might actually see some very, very good reports. So now what do I see happening so far? Well, Microsoft and Alphabet are supposed to come out. They just barely came out. The outlook is pretty decent. I know that expectations are obviously being lowered to help the market pump, and that's what's actually going on right now. If you look at the data, Google beat on earnings, they beat on revenue. Alphabet actually beat, and overall, most of their sectors were actually okay, not too bad overall, and they did beat. When it comes to Microsoft, some of their typical sectors are actually a little bit down. If you look at their hardware, their gaming revenue, Xbox content, and etc. I think Xbox content is kind of up and services is up, but another couple of sectors are kind of down. So it's a little mixed there. But what is good about it is they beat on earnings per share. They beat on revenue by a lot. They actually beat it by almost $2 billion. Nice beat. This could actually be very positive for the market going forward. Now, NEO, what isn't good about NEO to start us off is high volume, selling on high volume. NEO also sold off because of tensions between the US and China, as the US is going to be actually limiting some investments to be made over there, especially excuse me, sorry guys, I have a bit of a cough, especially because of AI development and other factors like that. It sold off on very high volume, almost 90 million, but the short volume has decreased a bit. Now, we also have a relatively low price price ratio for NEO. It was heavily underperforming. And we do have a tendency of being green like 56% of the time on Wednesdays. So it's a pretty decent day for NEO. And the short interest is still not updating. It's still relatively high compared to other levels from before, but it's still not as high as these other moments. So kind of in the middle. What does all of this tell me about NEO? The MACD is curling right now. It's actually a little bit green in the after hours. It's going to likely try to get above $8 for tomorrow as long as the market continues to hold. SPY is once again up for now, and I'm anticipating SPY is going to try to get above 409 tomorrow. Could we get to 411? I mean, it is possible to try 411, but for now, let's just see what earnings brings us. For now, so far, earnings has been pretty good. I know expectations have been lowered, but once again, Microsoft, Google, pretty decent reports. Tesla's a little green as well. Likely going to try to retest 163 tomorrow. If it breaks, 165 becomes possible. And finally, for the QQQ, this thing is still pumping. Now it's up to about 312.55, up 0.81%. So pretty decent. Overall, decent stuff so far. I'm anticipating a bounce tomorrow for especially the tech sector because once again, Microsoft and Alphabet so far have given us some pretty decent earnings. Not horrible, not the greatest, but still pretty decent overall. And I think we're getting a positive reaction so far. And I think the market was very, very oversold. If you look at SPY, we just removed the extended hours, for instance. Look at how this thing sold off. I'm not saying it has to like explode, but it should try to get a balance because when you zoom out pretty far into the chart, whoops, just like this, look at what we're actually seeing here. The RSI on SPY is at extremely low levels. Even when you go back to when SPY was in the 390s, right? RSI was in the 44s on the 1 hour time frame. Even the 39 area, even 49, and once again coming all the way down to like 39 or so. We even hit at our lowest at 380, the RSI reached like 27. All right? But where's the RSI right now? It's at 26. So the chart made a higher low technically, right? Yes, we could be reversing, but we might bounce first before the real reversal comes, or anything is possible. I am anticipating a bit of a bounce though. What could happen is we should try to bounce a little bit right here because if you look at the RSI, it's very oversold. If you look at the MACD and the signal line, super oversold, super down there. Whereas right now, the price is at a higher low compared to those levels. So I'm thinking the market will sell off in the future. Yes, it's going to tank. But before the tank comes, we could actually try to see a rebound. We should try to get back above 409, like I said. And then we'll continue from there. I'm expecting lots of choppy price action and a very big dependence on earnings from Apple and big tech. But then once again, guys, just remain calm, cool, and collected. If we get the bounce, do not become overly bullish or overly bearish. Just watch the chart carefully and just be prepared because I do expect lots of volatility to come. All right, guys, thank you all for listening. Have an absolutely incredible rest of the day. NIO is likely going to bounce as well. Like I said, 8.25 is my target. If it breaks that, watch 8.5. If we're super bearish, 7.6 is going to be important, followed by $7 flat. But I think we're most likely going to see this thing retest the 50 EMA, get closer to 8.5, or at least 8.25 to start off. I am looking for a bounce on NIO for tomorrow. All right. So once again, thank you for listening. I have some merch for you guys down below near the comment section if you are interested. If not, completely fine with me. Thank you. NIO to the moon because the long term is very bright, and peace out.